capable of, what I've heard is the most important question to ask at first is, where am I now? And then secondly, where do I want to go? Now I have the two key points of creating a map. Now, what does that really mean? Well, to me, that then leads to the question of, do I like where I am? And am I close to where I want to go? And do I even want to change and go through the growth that's going to be required in transition? Which means, unfortunately, in most cases, in my experience of life, pain is going to happen if I'm going to go through some form of growth. So and that kind of is it's a human condition. It just is required, whether it be physically, mentally, having to change a belief, digging into those roadblocks and those root issues, because the fruit isn't the problem. It's always the root that's causing the problem. So do I want the change? Once that's decided, then that big why question, the purpose that you and I have talked about so much, and Bob, we talk about a lot on other shows as well, are why. Why do I want to make this change? What is my real purpose for this? What outcome is it going to lead to? That then requires us to define the plan. If I know where I'm going and why I'm going there, what's the map? What is that massive action plan that we've talked about? A map is only as good as the action. A saying I say all the time: your reality equals your dreams acted upon. And if you want to have what others have, we have to be willing to do what others do. So, in most cases, that means if I want to be a world-class athlete, then I better create the rituals, the habits for the results of a world-class athlete. Those rituals are going to ultimately create a lifestyle or a new environment for me to actually grow in and transition from one place or state to another in that, by the repetition, which is the mother of all skill, and go through that, repeating it day in, day out. What we do consistently is what actually causes the change. Not, well, I did it one day a week, went to the gym. It's, no, I went and I did something active every day. A walk, I hit the gym one day, I played some golf. We're being active and healthy in our body, our mind, and our spirit. And then the last thing, be kind to ourselves. And I think that really comes back to the really basic principle of love. You got to love the process. We got to love our life, which is living intentionally focused on executing. Another one of my Heathisms. And that overall being kind to ourselves is going to allow us to enjoy the process, to have that strong mindset that you spoke about, that we're going to actually be positive about the change. This is an opportunity working through COVID, because I'm going to focus on new technology, the ability to communicate through different vehicles or whatever it might be. Or is it, I have to? No. We get to. So do you feel that I summarized that in a concise enough manner in layman terms?
Yeah, look, I absolutely, Heath. I think there's a simplicity to this. And I, if I could close off, I tend to summarize everything through an overarching model, which I call the AIR model. And I've shared my screen again. Listeners won't see this, but they might be able to download it. But it really is a very simple summary of, I use it, actually it's a change model I use in organizations. So I've used it in large organizations just to talk about, if you're trying to achieve a result or a goal, you want to shift something in your life, you start with your goals, your possibilities. And then, the AIR stands for, the first thing you got to figure out is, what do you need to do? Take action and implement that action. But action doesn't go anywhere without some inspiration. So that's the I. So we have A plus I, you need a purpose. We've already talked about A plus I. You got to be aware of those roadblocks. So we have a minus R. You need to be able to resolve those roadblocks. What are the roadblocks that get in the way? And then none of that gets anywhere unless you have health and well-being. You need to be able to give effort to your actions. It's great to have an action plan, but you got to give a quality effort. But you can't give effort unless you have health and well-being, so that you have energy, literally calories and energy in your body to be able to and enough energy every day to implement your action plan. So you got to multiply all of that by effort. And then what sustains your effort and what keeps you on track are the mindsets, is the way that you think, is the way that you interpret and perceive. So this, I'm putting up here as a final summary of the day, is that when you get actions plus inspiration, you're aware that there's roadblocks that get in the way. So it's A plus I minus R times effort and a bit of mindset. That's your pathway to success. And if I was drawing this out, I'd have an infinity sign through this model. It basically said we're basically revolving constantly through all these areas. We set a goal. We're constantly tapping into purpose. We're constantly checking in on what our roadblocks are. We're constantly refining and looking at our action plan. We're constantly checking in on our mindsets to keep us going, the helpful ones, the unhelpful ones that stop us. We're constantly making sure that we're managing our energy and that it's in a good place so we can give effort. And then when we get some results along the way, if we failed, we don't get knocked back by them. We just use them as to assess where in our plan we've gone wrong. Or maybe we just say, hey, I've done nothing wrong. We just need more time doing this. And so failure is that feedback mechanism. And eventually over time, when we keep sort of moving through all of these parts of the model, we move forward, we progress, and we achieve what we want to achieve.
Well, I can't thank you enough for your time today, Sean. I really am excited. I'm actually going to put it out there that I'd love to have you back to talk about energy health in more detail, because we literally just tipped the tip of what we can offer to our audience about that. And I really look forward to us doing this again soon.
My pleasure.